Welcome back, Red Spotters, to another audio commentary. I'm your host, Alexis J. Soto, and I'm joined today by Mr. David Francisco. This is the audio commentary on Spider-Man Far From Home. And I think we finally did it, guys. This is, at long last, the final... up until this point anyway, right? Yeah. Audio commentary for the Marvel Cinematic Universe that we couldn't necessarily finish because when we started doing this about a year ago, hell, Endgame wasn't even out. And Captain Marvel wasn't available on digital, neither was Spider-Man, so we were a little delayed, as a matter of fact, but here we are. We did a commentary last week on Captain Marvel, and I think we had a really good conversation, a lot of good constructive criticism to a film that was deeply flawed, but overall we enjoyed. And yeah, David, are you good? Are you... Mm-hmm. Okay, good. Are you alive? I was asking you how you're doing this week and everything.
Yeah.
And so overall, we had a good flow with Captain Marvel, and here we are with Spider-Man Far From Home. I guess since this is a sequel, this to Spider-Man Homecoming, I'm pretty sure you and I pretty much went on the same lines for Homecoming, right? Like, we really, really liked it.
Oh, yeah. It's like top 5 of Marvel movies for me.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It was a really good take. Mm-hmm. So this is really interesting. Spider-Man Far From Home is the sequel to Homecoming. First of all, this is hilarious, by the way.
Yes.
I was laughing. Again, look, with every Marvel movie, but, they get the humor right here. With these in particular, but this is such a great way, considering this is off the heels of Endgame, and we have a tribute here. We have, what was it? We have Whitney Houston's I Will Always Love You, with images of Steve Rogers, of course, Tony Stark, and even Natasha. So rightfully, this is the last movie of what they call Phase 3, but it's a really good transition of the big names that we lost in the Marvel Cinematic Universe going forward here. So I thought that was a nice touch. And then, of course, there's Vision there as well. But it's interesting because of its placement, as well as the fact that this came right before all the drama of whether or not there would have been a third Spider-Man movie in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So there's kind of a lot of ground to cover. And then as far as like how the movie was received, it was kind of mixed, although mostly positive. And then especially with our panel, I don't know, I have a kind of a whiplash relationship with this movie. When I initially walked out of it, I was kind of indifferent, and then in subsequent viewings I enjoyed it much more. I legitimately like this movie. I think it's a good film for what it does, but at the same time we can get into a lot of the things that we necessarily didn't like or like, but that was kind of my reaction. Overall, I think this is a very solid film. As far as Spider-Man movies are concerned, well, there's a lot to live up to, let's be real, when it comes to Spider-Man films, and then also when it comes to the Marvel Cinematic Universe movies. But we haven't discussed this movie that openly, I feel, David. So I'm really curious to see your relationship with this.
No, when I first saw it, I felt the same way as you, kind of indifferent coming out of it. And I'm not really sure why exactly. Like, I love Spider-Man. I love these movies and all. And so it's just kind of come out of it going, it was fine, I guess, and whatever. But after rewatching it, though, I'm like, oh no, this is a great movie. It's a good sequel. So...
I know. Go ahead.
But I know part of when first watching it kind of made me go, it's fine. It's a bit of the fighting. I don't know what it was exactly. I feel like the CGI might have been off or something, or I don't know. But again, after rewatching though, I'm okay with it now, and
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what exactly came over us. Again, this one, where I would place it as far as like Spider-Man movies, I'm not sure. I mean, but let's just talk about it as a film. I think it is a good follow-up to Homecoming, and it does progress the relationships forward, especially with Peter and with MJ. Across the board, the performances remain solid. The visual effects are outstanding. I feel like every Marvel movie that keeps coming out looks better and better. As far as the choreography is concerned, look, we're dealing with the elementals here. They're kind of these big blob monsters, and that is, part of the gag with Mysterio. And I will admit, it can get a little old after. I mean, to me, like, the action sequences are maybe the least interesting aspect of this movie. To me, like, what I enjoy the most is, stuff like this, watching Peter just be Peter. So, like, the main arc of the movie basically is Peter is a little overwhelmed and tired and just wants a fucking vacation. And he leaves it, makes the decision to leave the suit behind. May puts it in there, and then of course he's co-opted by Nick Fury and Maria Hill to take on the elementals while he's on his high school summer vacation trip in Europe, which is a lot of Europe in this film. And of course he has to overcome those obstacles. So there is a little bit of a, what's it called? It mirrors the Peter arc from Spider-Man 2 of the Sam Raimi, where in a similar situation, he had himself really, overstretch himself, be overwhelmed. Of course, Spider-Man 2 is a much better film just about in every way. I mean, that's kind of the best Spider-Man movie, up there with Into the Spider-Verse. So it's a lot of healthy competition. Spider-Man movies, for the most part, are good, if not very good, if not too great. So there's a lot of great stuff in terms of like what's on paper and how it's executed. But like you, there's still this feeling of it's good. And there's a lot of good stuff and moments that I remember. But as a whole, I don't know, like as far as like how I felt about it initially, there was a little sense of it being lightweight. And I mean, I don't want to be one of those people that like, well, maybe after Endgame you were going to come down. I was expecting it to come down, of course. I don't know what it was, to be honest with you. I don't know. What do you think?
Actually, I just remembered another part that I I wouldn't say dislike about the movie, but definitely like needed some work, was the MJ and Peter Parker relationship. Oh yeah, I kind of didn't like how they dealt with it here. Like, I'm glad they're together in the end. Spoilers, but they were separated throughout some of the movie, or the whole movie really, and then at the end they're just like, no, I like you actually, and all that, which.
It can be an issue, right? It can be an issue if you want to build up that relationship. And I think, to me, one of the initial issues that I had was we begin the movie with Peter already having feelings for MJ. And I really wish we would have gotten to see that happen. Like, that to me is, maybe one of the more interesting aspects of romance storylines is seeing the characters understand and realize that they have feelings for each other. And we didn't really, to me, that's what I really missed the most, is that we just off the bat started the movie with him already liking her. Just because. Whereas in the other appearances, at least in the last movie, we didn't see any of that. We never saw him have any kind of romantic feelings, or at least anything with MJ. We knew, because that's just how these movies go, that they were building to that. But to me, I missed a little bit of that building to moment, as to what exactly about MJ does he like, and just the fact that we haven't seen that much of her. And maybe in this movie, she's mainly just, from a distance rather than being with Peter. So I definitely agree with you that perhaps if we had gotten more of an opportunity to see those two interact throughout the entirety of the movie, they would have done a better job of, landing it. Although I like the two of them together. I think they have chemistry, and I want them to be together. But it just feels like we skipped over something that I think that could have helped at least the storyline of this movie.
Mm-hmm.
And it didn't even occur to me until Peter pointed this out, but it is so very true. Peter Martinez, not Peter Parker, just to be clear.
I was like,
to our listeners here. Walking out of the movie. Like, and this may be a similar problem. By the way, Peter Tingle is hilarious. Also, May and Happy. I mean, a lot of the gags here work so well. By the way, that looks so cool, the spider suit there. But another issue that may be here that also has a theme with what I just pointed out in terms of skipping things over. And honestly, I really would have liked to have seen this play out as well, but we just kind of, all right, accepted it. We ended Homecoming with the big what the fa moment with May finding out that Peter Parker is Spider-Man. Something that we've never seen in any of the Spider-Man movies is May finding out Peter's true identity.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're here with this movie, and we skipped over any potential for what that could have been used for. She's like, oh, okay, I'm cool. Now we're here.
And it's honestly like a really difficult process because you want to deal with the fact that he lost Tony Stark. He just fought in this giant battle for the universe.
Yeah.
But then you also want to add I guess you could have just skipped over the romance between him and MJ and just kind of built it up as a friendship, which would have been easy. But, it's just, I think the bad thing about that the writers had to deal with was basically everything that happened before, which is Endgame and Homecoming. So I think it was a hard balance for them, which I understand. And I understand Peter's criticism about it. And it's actually like a really common thing amongst people who love the comics. People who love the Spider-Man comics freaking hated Homecoming and Far From Home.
Really?
Yeah, they thought it was just a really bad adaptation of the comics, which was, originally he wasn't always a teenager in the beginning. He was a full-grown adult,
right?
Kind of dealing with a whole bunch of all of life, really. Rent, relationships, jobs, and all that.
Yeah, there are different iterations. I am aware of those, but what's wrong with him being a teenager?
I don't know.
Let's just get this out of the way with. Tom Holland's amazing in this character. He's perfect. And and these actors, playing these characters, MJ, Zendaya, and also Ned, they're perfect. I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong with that dynamic, and I'm glad that we got to see more of that dynamic throughout the movie. And I want to go back to what you said about, Endgame and Infinity War having come in between this and Homecoming. Look, I don't think it would have been overstuffed to have carried over the May stuff with her being uncomfortable with Peter doing all of this. And then as well as that would have just given even more ammo to lay on top of Peter just wanting to get away from it. You could have balanced this out with, him realizing he has feelings with MJ, maybe not end the movie with them together, but like getting somewhere, but him like realizing that, oh, this is the person he likes, on top of losing Tony Stark, on top of May, worrying about it, and him just feeling all overwhelmed in that regard. And I don't necessarily think that, you could have done anything different. Like, as far as like the Endgame connection is concerned, that the Tony is the main thing, but the blip, I mean, it's in the background and like stuff like this is like, cool connection stuff to it, but I don't really think you needed anything more. It wasn't that hard of a balancing act, I feel. And let's just be real here. To address the people who have those concerns, well, I think what's cool about these Spider-Man movies is that they can play in a larger cinematic universe. But the trade-off that you have is if you're going to play with that the entire way of this particular Spider-Man franchise, you lose the standalone effect of the other Spider-Man movies that we've seen. And I think that's perfectly fine. It's great to have, these different kinds of Spider-Man movies, but perhaps the films themselves may not feel as standalone because so much of the plot is, dealing with what's happened in the cinematic universe. And Lord knows what that means for the next Spider-Man movie, considering how this ends. But I I appreciate the connections to Endgame. I don't think it hindered the movie all that much. I felt like they, in fact, to me, perhaps what felt a little empty at the end of it was that there could have been room for much more than just what was there. You know, I don't think it was a hindrance. I think you could have done more with it, but I don't know. Like between this, although I will say this is much better than Captain Marvel and Ant-Man and the Wasp. Don't get me wrong here. I mean, it has the strength of the cast and the director, and that carries it forward. But between this, Captain Marvel, Ant-Man and the Wasp, you almost get the sense that there was much more that could have been done in, you know, from a narrative standpoint in these films, but they just don't go there. Mm-hmm. And it almost you can get the impression that maybe the films are kind of on autopilot, you know, and all of the resources could have been going to Infinity War and Endgame. That could have been happening. I mean, it seems as if Captain Marvel was a little affected by that, as well as the visual effects of Black Panther, because they were saving money for, you know, the big shebang in Infinity War and Endgame. Mm-hmm. Again, I say these things from a perspective of enjoying this movie, and I think, you know, from a characterization standpoint, as far as Peter Parker is concerned, I think it's very well executed. But that being said, you know, in the discussion and in the interest of talking about missed opportunities, I think there are a fair amount here. Mm-hmm. Although, go ahead, go.
Either way, though, like in the end, you know, Tom Holland, even the writers, they want to make like as much movies as they can together, you know? So like there's a chance to have that Peter and May dynamic, watching May deal with the fact that he's a hero, you know?
Well, see, to me, I hope you're right. Like, to me, in terms of like how they're playing out, I think in the long run, Far From Home will be far more fondly looked at if for sure we're going to get more than just 3 Spider-Man movies with Tom Holland. I mean, Tom Holland is young. We can go on. I mean, that's why maybe perhaps this feels a little underwhelming, is that people are looking at it through the lens of, you know, part 2 of a 3-part series. And my hope is, and my expectation always was before the disruption happened with Sony and Disney, that was like, what the fuck are you guys doing? My expectation always was, by the way, this is so relatable and so awful what happens to him. Peter's professor is hilarious. And I mean, the gag of his life just being complete shit. I mean, you know, it's just one of those characters you laugh at. So back to my point.
Actually, the teachers, him and the other guy, apparently like throughout the entire filming process, they just kept putting out one joke after another. Like they were just nonstop. So like, I think that's a really cool detail.
No, they have you know, good chemistry together. By the way, in some of these scenes, we see Mysterio in the background. I know that they were in the behind the scenes feature, but to my point is, I always envision the Spider-Man franchise, you know, considering how young Tom Holland is, how youthful he appears, you have the opportunity, and considering you're making a Spider-Man movie every 2 years, you know, with Sony and Marvel, you have the opportunity to have a 6-movie series, 6 Spider-Man standalone films, adventures, or 4 or 5, whichever you prefer, you know, to tell this story across. And even then, what I also feel is a missed opportunity, and I don't know why they're not capitalizing on this. If I were, you know, Disney and Sony are really missing a lot by not, you know, agreeing to a more comprehensive deal. Because you know what I think would be so popular right now and so lucrative is if Sony and Disney, and imagine if because they knew they were doing Disney Plus for years and years, right? Imagine if they had made this deal a long time ago while they were filming Homecoming and or Far From Home. And you know what would be really fun? A really small 8-10 part episode Disney Plus series on these characters in high school.
Oh, yeah. But like just high school?
Well, not just high school, but, you know, in between the movies, right? So you could have had something where You could have basically played out Peter's origin story pre-Civil War on Disney Plus. You could have had what happened in between Homecoming and Infinity War. You could also, by the way, if you're not aware, there is an entire year in between Far From Home and Endgame. So this is, by this point, 2024, I feel.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot of room for more material from this. Supplementary material that on its own right would be just as good and can also help fill in the gaps. Like, if we had a season of Spider-Man, like let's say 8 episodes in between Far From Home and Endgame, we could have seen Peter develop the feelings for MJ and why,
Mm-hmm.
I just think that would be so popular right now.
No, yeah, I agree. And we overlooked a lot of stuff. So
I know. Go ahead.
It's fine though. So yeah, in the beginning, Peter, he's doing some press conference and all that, or press conference. Everyone's telling him, "Are you gonna be the new Tony Stark? Are you gonna keep being a big hero?" And then, he's just feeling overwhelmed and everything. Which I love that. I love that part. It's great setup for his whole arc, his whole story. And I like those little details that he literally is seeing Tony Stark everywhere. Like, people just keep putting on his symbol or have a picture of him. It's funny, but also like it kind of sucks for him. And then during the trip, that bit of what's his friend's name?
Ned
and his girlfriend, how they like basically develop a relationship throughout the flight. Oh my god, that was hilarious. Yeah. And then this part right here, it's cool.
Mysterio is cool looking, right?
Mm-hmm. Now I remember when they first showed him like with the bubble head on and everything, everyone was freaking out. Like, oh my god, you're actually going for it.
I remember watching Kevin Smith's trailer reaction to this, and he. By the way, what the hell is this? This court jester mask that he's wearing there. I guess properly for Venice. I remember watching Kevin Smith's trailer reaction, and he was just so fucking into it. Like, fuck me, this is amazing kind of a reaction. He's so hilarious. Like that, because he's a big comic book guy,
of course.
And
I know I complained a bit about the CGI, but I do love the way he's using his webs throughout this whole scene, like trying to keep everything up and dodging as much as he can.
I don't feel there's anything wrong with the looks of the effects. I just feel that perhaps the choreography could have been far more interesting. It's a little bland as far as action sequences go, to be quite frank with you. I mean, to me, the only one that I really kind of respond to, I mean, this is, it's nice, but the one that I like is, I think, the one at the end. But overall, and this may be a far less discussed aspect of Far From Home, it may feature some of the least impressive set pieces in a Marvel movie. Because I remember just about every one from Homecoming. This one is not so memorable. Because from Homecoming, I can think about, my favorite is the last one with Vulture, the jet crashing down. And of course, in the building when, Vulture, drops a building on him, basically. The ferry, the Washington Monument sequence, even the first one, when Peter's chasing the goons, basically, Ferris Bueller style in some of the yards. So I remember all of them from Homecoming. They stuck with me. Here, I don't know. Maybe it's time Marvel let some of the directors, Corey, have some input on the action. For the most part, they don't, except for the Russos.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like I said, though, like the whole time, throughout this movie, all he's doing is just like keeping things up, trying to like protect as many people as he can, which is like, as a superhero, that's cool and all. But like, if you want some great action, that's not really gonna help. And I think that's why the ending is so much better, because you see how he planned out his attack, and like the execution of it was well made.
I love the little aspect here of Flash being like a Spider-Man's #1 fan kind of thing.
Yeah.
I'm hopeful to see more of that relationship play out. There's a lot of stuff going on here. I mean, the relationship between Flash Thompson and Peter. So I assume, I think in the by the next movie, everybody knows Peter Parker's identity, right? And I guess we can talk about that more toward the ending. By the way, what I love about these movies, Homecoming and Far From Home, is kind of the revival of Happy Hogan's character.
Yes.
Like, you're really taking him from a different franchise and you're turning him into kind of like this lovable uncle kind of relationship here that they have. It was a good part of the first Homecoming movie. And I think it was better handled here, I feel, especially since there is something of a kindling romance between him and Aunt May.
I ship it.
I ship it. I so ship it.
I was in it right from the trailers, dude. Like, oh my God, do it. That's awesome.
Yes. So, yeah. But see, all of this works really well. I mean, one of those Ned and oh my God, there's two. You see, look, this is so well done. Like, to me, I think this is some of the stuff that works the best in the movie. Like, their dynamic together, and anytime not just in any two characters, I mean, the whole group dynamic, I mean, is just so entertaining, you know? But, you touched on something. I'm not sure if you realized it when you were talking about some of the stuff that we had gone over, in this commentary. As far as Peter being asked by the press about being the new Iron Man or the next Iron Man. And I'm sure you have, you are aware of a subset of fans who are very critical about that, I guess, story arc of turning Spider-Man into Iron Man. Do you want to speak to that and address it a little bit? Are you aware of it?
Am I what?
You want to speak to that?
Well, I know I heard some complaints about it, like trying to push Spider-Man to the forefront, but I understand Marvel Studios wanting to push Spider-Man to the forefront of like, what's the word? Fucking advertisements and all that. But you could tell right from the beginning that that's not what's going to happen in the story, in the movie. And so I'm kind of glad that the writers themselves like knew how to deal with that, basically. But I'm also just, I don't mind the studios pushing him to the forefront. He is a very memorable character. And sadly, some of the characters that they have, they really are like B-list, I guess, of the Marvel Universe.
You see, I agree with that. I think what people have more of an issue with is that they're literally, what they perceive anyway as the issue, is that you're turning Peter Parker into Tony Stark. Not necessarily like, they don't have, I don't assume anyway, people have an issue with Spider-Man being pushed into the forefront of the MCU. I feel as if perhaps people have an issue with turning Peter Parker into basically Tony Stark light. And into the same character.
So far, I trust the writers of these movies that they're not going to do that at all. I think they really are going to stick to their guns and like make him his own hero, you know, especially like since one of the complaints people had of Homecoming was that Tony Stark gave him the suit. You know, Spider-Man, he made his own suit, his very own, with like cheap as he could and all that. And so with this one though, like, yeah, he still has Tony Stark's suit, he still has some of his technology, but like he's coming up with his own ideas with his own look. And I think that's the cool part about him. And that's what we're gonna see progress throughout the movies. I can definitely see Peter just kind of like what he said in Civil War. He'll fight for the little people. That's how I always see Spider-Man doing.
Yeah, and you know that still to this day is one of the best scenes ever for Spider-Man. There was so much pressure on that one scene. Jesus Christ, they really hit it out of the park because it still, I think, resonates to this day with the Spider-Man. Look, I understand, I guess, the criticism, but I don't think that's what they're doing. You know, I feel like people are... maybe taking this a little too literally. Like, to me, I don't think they're basically turning Peter Parker into Iron Man. Obviously, I feel like they're pushing him to the forefront of the MCU because he is Spider-Man. Yeah. But Tony was his mentor. Of course, his passing is going to have a massive impact on him going forward. And to me, like, at least how I perceived it is, at least part of the message that I get from the movie is what trips Peter up is that he feels that he has to be Iron Man. But I think Happy tells him, look, Tony picked you because you're you. He wants you to be you. You don't have to live up to Tony. No one can do it. But you can be better than him. Yeah. And that's why he chose you. So I think...
Tony said it in Homecoming, like, I thought you could be better than me or something like that. Yeah. So, yeah. It's a really great story arc in this movie that I love.
No, look, yeah. So I think the seed was definitely planted in the last film, and I think... I feel the film itself addressed those concerns about why there was so much... of an emphasis in this movie about Peter for himself wanting to be the next Iron Man. Iron Man is Peter's hero. But to me anyway, I think it was relatively addressed that no, he's Peter Parker and he has his own path going forward. So to me, I don't necessarily share any of those concerns, and it seems like you don't either. So... should we talk about... I love this line so much. Bitch, please, you've been to space. Oh my God. I'm sure that was a Sam Jackson improvised line. I'm sure I read that somewhere. So one of the things just to keep in mind, because I always forget up until the very end, because it's so good. So this is supposed to be Talos, right? The entire time? This is Talos doing a Nick Fury impression, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Which I was so glad about the reveal in the end, because throughout this movie, I was like, what's up with Nick Fury? Like,
he's a little off.
Yeah. And like, honestly, that's a great job on the writers. Like, they really got us. Oh my God. It literally wasn't him.
It wasn't. I mean, it was Sam Jackson, but it wasn't. Like, yeah. So, yeah. Yeah, I noticed that too. He didn't seem entirely himself. It almost felt like, somebody was doing an impression. It really wasn't them. It was Talos and his wife, pretty much. Not Nick Fury and Maria Hill.
Was that actually his wife? Talos'
I think
wife,
so.
Or are you just guessing? That'd be so cool.
It seemed that way. They seem to have that kind of a rapport in the post-credits scene anyway. That's what I assume. I mean, because it wasn't Maria Hill. It was definitely a Skrull. So, I mean, to me, I feel it's implied the only real time we see Nick Fury is at the very end of it.
Oh yeah.
So, yeah, good job on them for that. I still want an explanation about where the hell is Goose. I'm just like, are we just to assume that he's just with Nick up in space now, or Fury?
Maybe, I don't know. I hope they like reveal it somehow, just like on the background.
Yeah,
that'd be funny.
By the way, a lot of cool locations. This is the first Spider-Man movie that's basically not in New York, and we're here on a tour of Europe, and it's a beautiful country, beautiful countryside. Anyway,
yeah.
Of course, Europe isn't a country; it's a continent. But you know what I meant. The country.
Yeah.
Flash mob. Fucking. There was some really fun behind the scenes extras on the film when you purchase it, and there's a one of them is Flash doing his vlog basically as he's being chased by the drones. It's hilarious.
I love this part right here. Just him putting on the glasses, like, and then I love what the classes are called.
Edith.
I can't remember the actual name.
I know.
Like, I remember the.
I got it. Even dead, I'm the hero.
Oh my god! Like, that is such a great like Tony Stark thing to do. Oh my god.
Oh my.
So at some point he uses the glasses to kind of look at people's text messages. I don't know if you noticed it the first time, but look at Flash's phone when it goes to it.
What did you notice?
Well, his is I can't remember exactly, but it was like he's texting his mom, asking her like, "Hey, did you get my last message? Are you guys okay? You haven't responded." And it's just like,
it's
if
sad.
you remember the ending,
yeah.
Like I think you'll see it. I don't know.
I mean kind of the sad commentary. I see it right there. In days. Oh my god, it said in days.
Dude, it's like the way they did that running joke though, it's fucking hilarious.
It's sad, but it's hilarious.
I'm sorry, I said it right. The way they came up with that running joke. It was hilarious because it was the guy who played Flash. It was at that last scene of his where he gets picked up by his chauffeur, I guess. And he goes, "Oh, did Dad not make it?" and all that. It's like it's really sad. But it was the actor who came up with that joke, going, "Wouldn't it be funny if this happened?" And then and then he and the director was kind of like, "Let's do it." Like, let's do that. And the guy who plays his chauffeur, that was supposed to be his dad.
Oh.
Yeah. So like they just switched his character to be his pickup, and and so they added those jokes later on of the text message, and oh man, it was hilarious, honestly.
Take off your clothes.
What did you think of the black suit of his?
This one, the Night Monkey, pretty much.
Yeah.
What is? Come on, Peter, don't do that. That. Okay, why do you stand still? Don't. You should have let him. Should have let her shot him. Honestly, I would have let her shoot him. Piece of shit. I don't really care. I mean, if you're asking me what I think about how the suit looks, it's fine.
Yeah.
It's, suitable for what, they're going to do with, him in the upcoming sequences, but it probably is. I mean, it's the least interesting Spider-Man suit because it's not supposed to look like Spider-Man,
Yeah.
So there's that.
No, I agree. I just I don't want the silence, honestly. yeah, sure, why not? He just nearly kills all his friends. Also, though, why would Tony give him such like a really powerful like? Actually, that's actually a good question. Like, he put restraints in his Spider-Man suit in the first one. Why didn't he do that with the glasses? You know?
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I just thought of that, and
yeah, I mean, we never. Oh,
funny thing. When Peter hit him, he was supposed when Flash wakes up, he was supposed to have a black eye, but they were like, but when that scene happened, they went, okay, do we put makeup on or we just fix it in post? And they were like, okay, let's just fix it in post. But then by the time they finished filming and working on post, they just went, forget about it, no black eye. I just thought it was funny that they just decided to just ignore something.
Mm-hmm. No, that was a fun sequence.
Yeah.
Between Peter hilariously knocking Flash out cold, with the drone being sent in to... I love how she immediately looks over at him. Mm-hmm. Like, I wonder what she's thinking right now. MJ about the deleted photo, whatever. And then, of course, like, Peter jumping in midair out of the fucking bus to destroy that drone. And then, of course, with the whole compliment of the hair. It was a really good sequence.
Yeah,
it was funny. Well, this is nice. Oh, God. Yeah. Fucking Ned here. I'm sorry for ditching you.
I find this kind of messed up. Just Ned keep putting like more pressure on Peter. Like, I understand like he's scared and he's worried about the others and all that, but it's just kind of like, whoa.
Well,
weird.
let me just be honest. This is no shade, by the way. In case anyone listens to this, but best friends can do that sometimes. They don't necessarily have your, shall we say, best interests at heart. And I definitely mean that in the best of ways. It goes both ways, right? So, yeah, it happens sometimes.
Yeah.
But that's kind of how a dynamic works.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit. Also, we should talk about Jake Gyllenhaal. It was so unusual that he did this. He doesn't do movies like these. Hardly ever, Yeah.
I saw a meme. It was like the GIF. It was him like like kissing his hand, waving goodbye to people, and like walking into a mist and all that.
Mm-hmm.
But the caption was Jake Gyllenhaal getting that sweet MCU paycheck and going back to his indie films.
I love that so much.
That's so hilarious. So like, yeah. But yeah, it goes into like, yeah, he rarely does anything like this. So, but he was originally going to play Peter Parker, wasn't he? I think that's what I heard. Or like he tried to audition for it.
Jake Gyllenhaal?
Yeah.
Maybe you mean in the Raimi movies?
Yeah.
I think I did hear something like that. Yeah. No, look. Tom Holland has an amazing gift in that he has been gifted by the presence of great actors, to bounce off of. And, one of the things that I felt was the least effective on me, because I cover this industry and I know too much. I never picked up a comic book in my life. I've never read a Spider-Man comic. I didn't know nothing about Mysterio up until a lot of the podcasts and outlets that I watch informed me, oh, this guy's a bad guy. Mm-hmm. And while I wasn't like disappointed knowing that, because, it's never a guarantee they're going to do exactly that in the movies. I did feel that knowing that took a lot of the teeth out of that twist for me. Mm-hmm. Even though for the most of this movie, he is presented as a good guy, you still see it coming because you know of the history of that character. And, to Jake Gyllenhaal's credit, he does a great job in scenes like this of, selling himself as a great person and a great influence on Peter. And the fact that Peter buys it so well works, that way to the point where I often wonder if perhaps if we weren't aware of Mysterio being a bad guy in reality before the movie, if that twist would have been much more profound. And I'll use the example of my brother, who's a big fan of the MCU and these Spider-Man movies in general, because he is that age of these kids pretty much. So it's a lot of their going on with him. But I can guarantee you, based on his reaction, he was just completely surprised that Mysterio was this bad guy. When that scene was playing out that we'll see in a bit right now, he was like, oh my, he was stunned. I can see it because he really liked Mysterio and the dynamic that he had with him and Peter.
Mm-hmm. No, I remember first time watching it, I kind of like skipped over, or not skip over, but like didn't really pay attention much to like these scenes right here before the reveal, because I was waiting for, okay, is this going to be the reveal? Is this going to be the reveal? Yeah. But it wasn't until rewatching it that I started paying attention to what he was saying to Peter when he was talking to him, and I think they did a really good job in trying to connect both of them, especially like that scene though. Nick Fury talks to Peter and it's like, oh, what's wrong with you? Like, why are you in the mood or something like that? And Mysterio just goes, he took him away from his vacation, dude. Like, of course he's going to be this way. So, like, he does it, like, they did a great job in, like, just adding little things about, in this dialogue to kind of get into Peter's good side. And you get cool moments of him trying to tell him, like, don't be like Tony Stark. Don't, be your own hero. Go enjoy your vacation if you want. Like, this whole life is tough, man.
Yeah. So I feel like if like Mysterio wasn't a known character and wasn't known for what he does, this probably would have been more memorable. Although you could definitely say it's a similarity with this and Homecoming is that the villains were a surprise. But I mean, let's be honest, it was nowhere near as effective as fucking Vulture's reveal. That was sick in the best way. That was
so cool, especially because like you were so hyped up. Like, yeah, he's gonna go to Homecoming. He's gonna have a great time, finally be a teenager. Nope. Oh my god. Even my dad was just like, oh shit, that's the guy.
Also, like what you were saying about, I mean, going back a little bit of the Nick Fury situation, I did get the sense that he was overly impatient, almost uncharacteristically overly impatient with Peter and not understanding.
Oh yeah, no. I especially noticed it when he tells him like, "You just nearly killed your friends" and all that. Like that scene. That was when I went, "Who the heck is this guy? This ain't Nick Fury."
Yeah, and it makes sense that it's Talos, because Talos is pretty much this war-hardened leader, refugee, kind of a savior to his people. So he's much more, this is much more Talos than it is Nick Fury. So it definitely makes all the sense in the world. Oh my God. They really shouldn't have left.
Yeah. I felt bad for Ned because he's just like, oh God.
Yeah. Yeah, nobody gave a shit about you two up in the Ferris wheel.
That sucks.
I know, right? But that would totally happen. I mean, let's be real.
Mm-hmm.
I love how Ned pretty much like invents a new celebrity out of the blue.
Yeah,
fucking
that is some quick thinking though. I
know, Night Monkey. Night Monkey.
And I love the running joke of the name though. It's like that when he gets I guess arrested and you hear the guard going, yeah, Night Monkey. He's here. I love how, when you know about the reveal, kind of listen to this part right here of the dialogue. He really is kind of like making it intense, Mysterio.
Yeah.
Because I feel like if this was like a real superhero team up type of thing, I don't think you actually hear that kind of dialogue. You know?
You don't. Yeah, it felt maybe a little bit theatrical.
Yeah.
Which is what he is. It's just nothing but, tricks.
But again, it's still kind of tricksy though too.
Yeah,
because like I said,
he is a good liar. But again, it's more understandable that people like Peter, who's a kid, and Talos, who's an alien, would be more susceptible to believing something like that. Because let's be real, Talos really fell for it.
Yeah, he says it too. It's like, oh my God, the craftsmanship, like it was impeccable. Like he was really impressed by how much he was tricked and all that. Yeah, and I think I mean you don't really see it, but like when he gets told that Mysterio's fake and everything that's been happening was fake,
yeah,
he is noticing it though more.
This looks great though. These effects are so good. Yeah, he looks fried.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this moment here is a little harsh for him. For Peter, I mean.
Mm-hmm. I'm really curious as to like what the real Nick Fury would say in that moment, though, because I really don't feel he will put Peter like in harm's way and all that. I think he would, for one thing, respect Tony's wishes and to like just keep him into the whole saving the little people.
Yeah.
You know? So I'm really curious. Although, yeah, I think Disney XD's Spider-Man show did have him working for S.H.I.E.L.D. and with Nick Fury.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and Coulson was
I mean, I know they're
too.
like completely unrelated and all that, but
yeah, Coulson was there too.
So, he was?
I think in that show, whichever one of them was, I think there was a Phil Coulson that was voiced by Clark Gregg. I feel in one of those shows, the recent ones anyway.
Okay, that's cool.
Like you're talking about missed opportunities. Again, if Sony and Disney had like an outstanding deal before the days of Disney Plus, you know, back in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., the 4th season, they were doing like these pods where like every 7 or 8 episodes they would change and do something new.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, hello, do I even have to spell it out? Peter Parker, bring him on for 8 episodes. Yeah. I mean, it kind of writes itself, especially with Coulson. Coulson and I think would have an amazing dynamic with Peter Parker.
Oh, for sure.
So, I mean, just imagine the opportunities that existed, and we couldn't have that, you know? But that's just, you know, me, I guess. This is actually a really good switcheroo because, you know, it catches you off guard. The set dressing, oh yeah, this looks normal. And then like it all just was a fucking illusion. Yeah.
No, I love the scene before it though. Mr. is like, let's get a drink. And he's like,
I'm not 21.
Yeah. And then you just see him drinking lemonade or something and all that. And again, though, I really do like the way he tricked Peter into giving him the glasses and all that. Yeah. Because I mean, I don't think I see it. You see it, or it's kind of shown, but like, I wonder how the glasses did get on the floor, or was it like a pickpocket or something like that? I don't know, but.
Man, the son of a bitch is loving this. I mean, it is so easy. And I think that was just the point is, I mean, Beck is just, he's a sweet talker, you know? And I think those moments that we saw earlier in the film were so sincere and so moving in terms of making a kind of a paternal impression on Peter that he played him like a fiddle.
Yeah.
Which also just goes to show you, it really reminds you Peter is really still just a kid. That he would be so susceptible to this manipulation, as they say.
Yeah, I mean, that's what Beck uses. That conversation they had, like, he tells him, like, what do you want, kid? And he's like, I just want to be on vacation. I want to tell me how I feel about her. Like, he pushes that moment of him just try and be a teenager and do teenage stuff, I guess. And then right here, though, the reveal is so great. Just everything disappearing, and like you see the real people there, just kind of like, oh, what's happening? We're like,
it's beautiful.
Yes, it's just that quick turn of Gyllenhaal from like big superhero to just evil genius, basically. That's so great.
Yeah.
Oh man.
God. That was such a quick turn, and it couldn't, you know, in the hands of a lesser actor, it might not have been a smooth transition, but man, this just goes. I mean, this took a real turn, didn't it?
And then I love this whole review. I love the jokes that like Tony Stark keeps making villains.
I know.
So they reveal that he was in Civil War.
Yeah.
Oh man.
At some point, you'd think that they would run out of it. You know, he's dead, and there's still people who have an axe to grind with him are coming out of the woodwork. This here was actually quite effective. You know, tying some of the other MCU stuff in with this villain, I wasn't expecting, and it was like, what?
No, yeah, this is so great, especially like the other person from the first Iron Man movie.
I know,
I was freaking out. Oh,
right?
Man.
It's the same actor. Literally. Like, it literally ties it all the way back into the first MCU movie. William right here.
Man. What the fuck is scraps? Some people, I just really heard it from one person complain that they don't like it when a reveal just kind of like monologues. You know, like basically monologuing the entire villain's plan.
Yeah, that can be an issue, and it is in a lot of movies, but it's not here because that's exactly who Quentin Beck is. He's a monologuer. His whole thing is he's an actor. He's loving this shit. I mean, it does more than just tell you what happened. I mean, it's showing you who this guy really is and what he loves. He loves to soak this shit in. So I don't buy that as far as in this moment. It is a great scene still. I mean, it's amazing. Yeah. Look how much he's going into this Gyllenhaal right here. Yep. Yeah. Hook, line, and sinker.
Yeah.
Monsters coming out of the ground. Literally.
Oh, I forgot about
I know.
that was a running joke I think they had throughout the set. It was like just believing that it was witches.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love the joke though. It's like, as a man of science, witchcraft.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. It's really well handled.
Just
I could just have it.
Oh my god, I've done that a bunch of times, honestly, like that.
What, to people? Or has it happened to you?
No, like I've done that. Like I'm talking to someone, I just kind of like, I miss the opportunity. Like it's not really like complimenting someone, just talking to someone in general. And like I kind of like mumble and lower my voice a bit, and they just like ignore me, or they walk away as soon as that happens.
Or they don't hear you, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, see, I really wish they avoided the love triangle type of thing and just kind of focused that.
Yeah, that was annoying.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, only because nothing really interesting is done with it, and it's happened a long times. I mean, yes, it gives more of a prerogative for Peter to get with MJ, but he didn't really need that. He already was going to do it, so it didn't necessarily serve any kind of purpose. I mean, I do like MJ. I mean, her quirk is like, she's kind of dark but funny too.
Yeah. No, yeah. Or I was gonna say, or at least either avoid the love triangle, or at least put more effort into the love triangle. Like, actually make it seem like MJ is falling for the other guy.
But you see, it's like, it's not really a love triangle, though. Like, I mean, I never really got the impression throughout the movie that she had any feelings for Brad or that guy, whatever his name is. So
no, I know, but if they push it more, I think you the heartbreak, I guess, of him having to leave, having not getting a chance with her, it would have been more effective. I guess.
Like a real love triangle is what we saw with MJ, Peter, and Osborn in the original Raimi trilogy.
Exactly. Yes. They were literally dating.
Yeah.
MJ and Osborn.
And that was like throughout the course of 3 films. And then this is just like, well, this one instance and now it's done. So in just about every way, it was just not that well handled. And at the end of the day, it didn't really amount to anything. So why have it there? Yeah, that. But we get Night Monkey, and that's hilarious.
Yeah.
He's so disappointed in that and asking that question. It kind of breaks my heart a little bit. You do see it on, you also just, you read the expression on MJ's face, and she is like, no, I don't think she's telling the truth there. I think clearly she was looking at you for other reasons, shall we say. And then comes this, which is projection. And then the realization that Peter's made a huge mistake.
Oh, yeah.
Oops.
I like this part. It's just...
No, this is good.
Yeah. Again, I love the dialogue that he's having with like his superhero stuff.
This
like,
rehearsal,
it's very over the top.
Yeah.
I love it. I do like this little detail that he has to rehearse the whole thing.
Yeah.
Even though it's like not really him doing the action or anything like that.
Yeah, that's just the true mark of a sociopath, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, some of you may die, but that is a sacrifice I am willing to make.
Yep. I also love how the writers bring up tension in both of the movies. You know, because like before, like in Homecoming, you know, you have the reveal of a Vulture and all that, and so like, and at first you're laughing like because he's freaking out a little bit, but he's like doesn't want to give away who he is and all that. But then when you get into the car, and then you see Vulture like putting in the pieces of, oh shoot, this guy's Spider-Man, isn't he? And so like it's a great build-up of tension, but also a great build-up of like the final action scene. And I think they did a great job in this one too, because like he Monsieur really utilizes like the weapons that he has now and like what he can do. But also you also get that scene again of Peter like dropping everything to save the day. And this is a really good movie, guys.
Yeah. Oh my god, fucking Neds are the whole time.
Again, quick thinking from him. That's awesome.
He didn't tell me. I figured it out. That's... So we're coming up on a sequence here where Peter is gonna basically he thinks he's in contact with Nick Fury. Now, how long did this play out before you caught on this is an illusion?
Oh, I did not know at all.
So, like, when Nick Fury was shot, did you feel like that was, like, real or an illusion?
I thought it was real. Like, I didn't think he died or anything. But I thought he like legit got shot. It wasn't until it was finally revealed that it was all fake that I went, oh my god.
So that was a good effect then. Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure.
That should have been a sign. So, okay. Was that Talos then? Was that really Talos? Or was that just another illusion?
No, that the whole thing is an illusion, for sure.
Including Fury.
It's just that.
Okay.
Yeah. But, like, right there, though, I mean, Fury's, like, taken more hits before, so I just assumed, like, he survived it, you know?
Uh-huh.
But until, like, afterwards, though, that he was a fake.
Yeah, this is a really good sequence, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
Ow. That hurt.
Oh, yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
Do you, though? Oh, my God.
Oh.
Ow. Oh, that's right. He does it not once, but twice. I forget, because this is... At this point, did you knew this was fake too? Well, not here.
Well, Fury... I thought Fury was real the entire time.
Me too. Well, actually, I'm not even sure. I don't remember. Hey, look, there's Cap.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I really wish we got in a scene with him and Cap. Like, a one-on-one. But, oh well.
I know. And then there's this. This is good.
Oh, yeah.
Iron Man popping out of the grave.
It's messed up.
Oh, yeah.
It's so cool.
This is a good kind of messed up.
Yeah, oh, yeah. Hmm.
So this right here, you still buying it?
Yeah, because I mean, like we kept saying, Mysterio, he goes over the top and everything.
Mm-hmm.
So of course, Fury, I can definitely believe Fury just coming out of like nowhere and being the badass that he is and everything. And then right there, that's like, oh shit.
You know, what's really kind of horrific, and it was kind of one of those oh shit moments. He literally pushes Peter in front of a train.
Yeah.
A fast moving train.
Mm-hmm.
And you're kind of like, what the fuck?
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Like, I feel like a normal person would have been like completely vaporized with the train going that fucking fast. Ow. That has to fucking hurt. At least you're alive.
Yeah. But did you die?
I know. But did he die?
And
then he passes out. And then we end up in, what is this?
It was a weird name, wasn't it? Like you couldn't really pronounce it.
I don't know. Why is he in jail?
Because he was bloody and asleep on a train.
Oh.
I think they just kind of checked on him.
The Netherlands.
Oh, is that where he's?
Yeah.
It's like, why is everyone so nice?
I know.
And then they don't escape. They're just like, okay. Night monkey. Oh man, I love this part. This is so great.
And he calls Happy.
Mm.
And I love that jet he flies in on. It's a really nice jet. Remember?
I mean,
I gotta get me.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, I want one of those.
oh yeah, I get it.
I don't know. I don't know.
It's like, I kind of wish we could have seen like Happy on the other line, like figuring out what or something like that, and they could have got a line. I'm just gonna use a GPS, like.
Right.
Yeah, no, I like this part. I mean, it was funny, but before though, I like just how afraid he is, Peter. Like, holy shit. And then just everything about this scene is
It's great.
just the best.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Holland is so good in this.
Oh yeah. Also, Happy is like the best person to tell him this, not just because of like the character, but also because it's Jon Favreau, like the guy who basically created the MCU, to tell him like, let's move on from him. Telling us really, like, let's move on from him. Let's bring up this guy now as a new superhero, big superhero. It's so great.
Oh my god, that's so funny.
Great setup right there. Like him always live Instagramming whatever. Oh man, that's great. And then, oh my god, this scene. First of all, like the tech, it looks really cool. God, yes. And all that. And just the fact that he already knows like how to use it already. Like I'm curious as to how, but it's awesome. And then throughout this whole sequence, just I like the little details that he's of dialogue of like how he plans out the whole attack plan, I guess. Yeah.
Like this is the official passing of the baton in a lot of ways.
Heck yeah. It's so good.
I know.
Oh,
yeah.
Man.
And I love how like he fucking messes up whoever the fuck sings this fucking Led Zeppelin. I think I heard Tom Holland say in one of the behind the scenes features that he specifically studied Iron Man. The hand gestures that Robert Downey Jr. would use when he was handling the holograms. I'm sorry, I was distracted by whatever. Okay? That should have been a clue. Were they just talking about the Kree?
Were they?
I think Talos was saying I thought the Kree were supposed to have top secret information, and then like fake Maria Hill interrupts him.
I don't know.
Didn't they just? Okay, maybe I could have sworn he said Kree. I don't know.
Yeah,
that could have been a red herring. What the fuck does that mean? The very concept of objective truth is I mean, that's true. It's fading out of the world. Yeah.
No, you were saying that he was studying Tony Stark's hands. Just
when he was
using the hologram.
Well, the holographic materials that he's using to build his suit. So,
oh yeah, no, that's cool.
Yeah.
Hmm. Dang.
FOS.
I like how Ned said, "Stay calm," but in Infinity War,
I know.
he sees a ship and it's just like, "We're all gonna
die." So, I mean, a good aspect of, is Peter Tingle. It's so hilarious. But yeah, he uses his spider senses to basically defeat the enemy, which come in handy with Mysterio. So, hey, that's for you, comic book people.
Yeah.
That's a nice suit, though.
Oh, yeah,
It looks... That... I don't even think... Well, they did make a suit, but that looks so fucking real. They really did a great job with the effects here. I mean, they have to, right? Because, I mean, the theatrics of this kind of call for it. No, it's not safe. Get the fuck out of there. What are you still doing there? God, the sense of, like, desolation on his face is so perfect. Just a complete meltdown. Oh my god, the witches are back. Run, guys.
I think one of the running jokes that the teachers had, that I think they put it in, was the one with the glasses. The other teacher would make a joke that his wife was putting witchcraft on him because of some divorce or something. I don't know, but I think that was the joke.
And those fucking drones do a lot of damage.
I know.
Also, that would have been really handy in the final battle in Endgame.
Just send those.
I know.
They would have stopped.
I know. And it technically was around.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't fucking matter, obviously, but like, hey, that's something you had.
I mean,
This, what the fuck? This is my family. What the fuck?
What the heck?
That's the first I ever heard that. Damn, they really went with a bang this last screenplay. Stay sticky.
Yeah.
Awkward.
It's just like, oh no. That's a cool parachute.
Yeah. Oh my god, this is hilarious. How it's building and building, like they're reading off the script. You know, Black is doing, and then
I like the music in this.
yeah,
It's cool.
I like Giacchino's Spider-Man theme. You know,
Yeah.
Peter Martinez's "Be Damned."
I honestly don't remember the Sam Raimi's like music score.
Not really.
But I mean, back then though, I hardly paid attention to scores.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
To each their own, right?
Yeah.
I don't remember that much. I mean, I remember it being good, but I can't hum it, so I can't really remember it that well. Bum 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 ba-dum. You see, I love it. I think it's a really good theme.
This part, like, I love the fact that he just came up with this plan. in an instant.
Pretty much on the spot.
Man. Mm-hmm.
That's good thinking. Of all things right now, we're still wearing the cape. All right. Who are you?
I work with Spider-Man.
I mean, that's just an ongoing nerve for him. Is that he? I think for most of his career, or at least for the last part of his career, he said he was Iron Man's bodyguard. People laughed at him because they wouldn't believe him. That's why he became head of security at Stark Industries, because that shit wasn't gonna fly anymore.
Yeah, see, like I said in the beginning, like this action sequence is like, it's really cool because he's finally on the attack instead of on the defense.
That would have been bad. Damn. That could have ended horribly.
Mm-hmm. I love this part.
I know.
He has the shit. Do that.
It was so funny. Like,
Oh man.
it didn't come anywhere close. That would happen to me. Like, straight up.
Yeah. I'm actually curious, like, how Falcon will throw the shield. Like, you just see, like, a little clip in the promotions, but I'm very curious how it's going to work with him.
Yeah. Spider-Man on fire.
Oh my god.
I know.
Like, this is really intense,
Yeah.
honestly. Like,
This is, you know, that's a lot of fucking drones.
I know.
I don't remember him dealing off with this many of them. This is a lot. Ow. What's he planning there with the illusion?
Well, that reveal in the ending, after credit scene.
Huh.
Yeah. I think, like, right here in that moment, he's talking to the camera, being like, Spider-Man is...
I forgot about that.
Mm-hmm.
You're right.
So, what do you think? Did he actually die, or is he still alive?
I don't know. There's a contingency plan.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. That's a good question. It seems that way, but
They're just like,
it's like the worst thing to bring up at the moment. I love this right here. This is, I mean, I wonder who we got this from. Do you not notice the resemblance a little bit?
Yeah, it's Thor's hammer and the shield, basically, which is...
This is good.
Yeah.
Ow.
Bam.
Yeah, Peter should have probably have picked up on that reveal right there. I have contingencies. You know? But again, you know.
best use of the spider sense, honestly.
Yeah. So he has his eyes closed for all of this. I get you.
Yeah.
That's good. That's a nice touch.
Mm-hmm. No, but I really like how they used it here, because I think in Sam Raimi's, it was mostly just like, you know, those like Matrix type of dodges and all that he would always use. And then I think Spider-Verse, I think it was just a cool way how they showed a spider sense. I think that was cool. But this one, I really liked how they used it in an action sequence.
So do you think he got away?
I think so. Because I don't think... Because Edith tells him...
You're in the strike zone.
That he's like in the line of fire. Yeah. And I don't think he would put himself in danger that much.
This is good.
I think it's insane, the fact that he was willing to just like shoot him right in the head. That's like...
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, but then right there though, like you see him get shot.
Yeah.
And then it shows that he's like not on the floor and everything.
Uh-huh.
But then once you see like the real him, he still goes down, like as if he still got shot. Like I know we probably just didn't see him creating the new illusion and him hiding away. But I don't know, it just feels
off.
Yeah. Especially because, so the video in the after credit scene, where he was like, right, where his illusion self was sitting down, that was where, that was where he was sitting in the video that we see in the after credit scene. And so, I feel like he would have planned that out of like him actually, or like his illusion self getting shot, laying right there, where he filmed it. You know what I mean?
This guy still gets away, so...
Yeah.
That is a nice suit.
Yeah, I really like it. I miss the blue, though.
Yeah, I mean, that's the classic, right?
Yeah.
Have we ever seen a red and black suit? Spider-Man?
I think there was. I don't remember when, but I think there were pictures of him in a red and black suit. I mean, there's different.
Right.
There's a whole bunch of costumes from Spider-Man, so I'm sure there's one.
There you go. Shut up.
Yeah, I wasn't that excited when the scene happened, honestly. But again, I'm glad they are together, and I'm curious what's gonna happen in the next one.
Yeah.
Especially because of the after credits.
Oh, yeah.
Oof.
Yeah. They have a hell of a concept coming up.
And that's why I said, like, the whole May and Peter thing, I don't mind. I don't mind it here much because you have future movies still, and I think that one they for sure need to like pay attention to the fact, like, how does May actually feel about the whole superhero thing.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
I love how like the joke here is like they're broken up, but like they don't really act like it. Why? Wasn't it just like a couple of days?
Yeah, basically. I mean, it was probably hours. Oh yeah, so like I said, that guy was supposed to be his dad, but they just decided to make the joke of that his parents aren't around.
Yeah.
I love the theory of people assume that the trip, him coming back, was the scene in Infinity War.
Ooh. Oh. Fucking Peter, what did you do?
Oh man.
Yeah. So this is the first time in the MCU, Spider-Man, we see him swing through the tall buildings in New York City. And it's it's a fun sequence. It's been a while since we've seen this. And he's literally swinging and texting. Okay.
Yeah. No, and I like how they're doing it like super fast, like the swinging and everything, and running. Because I think, I mean, it's been a while, but Sam Raimi's it's just a bunch of swinging, really.
Yeah.
And then like this is really cool, right there. Dang. And then Battle of New York.
Right. This is fun too, right here. Holy crap, that would be so scary. Honestly.
Her reaction's the best.
What's interesting is that more so than any like other post-credit scene, like the post-credit scene that we get after this, that's the real ending of the movie.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, so like, just to sum things up, how do you feel about this movie at the end of the day?
It's really good. I really do like it.
Yeah.
Still, the relationship between Peter and MJ, it's still a little problem for me, but I do enjoy the action a bit more. And I definitely enjoy Jake Gyllenhaal as a villain more the more times I watch it, because like he's just so much fun to watch. And yeah.
Where would you like to see them go next in the upcoming film?
Well, I actually had like this giant theory that I kind of hope they reveal the X-Men.
Oh my god.
Like Spider-Man movie.
They're not doing that.
I highly doubt it. But like it's just to be interesting though, like to see, you know, he's a fugitive now, people are after him, and so Fury, like, to help him out, he can be like, oh, I know a place where you can stay, and it's like Xavier's school, and it's like somehow they can reveal it or something. But I mean, either way, like I think it would just be cool to just kind of see him keep working in the shadows almost. And again, since I feel like if they go with that route, it'll be a way better reveal that maybe doesn't enjoy the superhero stuff, because like his life is ruined now, he's in constant danger, he keeps wanting to put himself in danger even though people don't like want him around. And I kind of hope they could at least put some other Avenger in the movie. You know, it's like it would be so cool if Falcon came out in the next one, because he was a fugitive, just like Peter now, and so he can probably help. And I think that was in a comic when Peter and Cap were fugitives because of the courts in the comics, and Cap kind of gives him like this little speech of, you know, yeah, we're criminals, but we're still heroes in the end, and we'll do the right thing no matter what, and something like that.
So, the Daily Bugle's back, and so is J. Jonah Jameson here. People were screaming with this review right here of J.K. Simmons. What about you?
Oh my god, you have no idea. There was literally, it wasn't even just me. Honestly, there was this guy behind me in the theaters talking, and during the movie. Like, just giving out little comments of, like, you know, when they did the whole Whitney Houston music in the beginning, he was like, really? And just, like, doing little comments. And so when they revealed this, everyone, even that did behind me, was like, oh my god. And I saw an interview with I think it was the director or maybe the writer. And they told him, like, oh, well, what made you decide this? And he was just like, there's no one else who can play it. Like, there's no one else who can play J. Jonah Jameson besides J.K. Simmons. And so that's how they got him back.
It's a hell of a twist.
They still added that. Yeah.
No, it's interesting.
I like how they still added that.
Go ahead.
What the fuck ending.
Yeah, I know. Like,
that they still added that.
Yeah. Like, that's both movies end with the same words. What the fuck? And both movies have the word home in them.
That's true. Yeah, and I wonder who's gonna end it in the third one, you know? Could it be Peter or May? Maybe Happy could end it like that. That'd be cool.
But yeah, I wonder when that's gonna come out now, right? So it was, they should have been filming, I think, this year. But now I think, it was supposed to come out July 2021, but now I understand they're going to be doing Christmas, December 2021. And that might be the first ever Spider-Man movie in a Christmas time.
That'd be cool if they actually make it into a Christmas movie. Bring back that question. Is this a Christmas movie?
They technically still can. Movie? They haven't filmed, from what I understand, because they haven't been, given the chance to do that yet. But No, but I think that's actually. I think what I'm most curious about is how Christmas time. That's a good time. For a Spider-Man movie. That'll be fun.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind that. That'd be fun actually.
Yeah.
To see. Has any superhero movie, MCU movie or superhero movie come out in December?
Into the Spider-Verse.
Oh, did it?
Yeah. Although it wasn't a massive. That because it came out that year, but then another superhero movie came out that year, and it made $1 billion. Aquaman.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I want to ask you. So, where does this movie fall for you in terms of all the Spider-Man movies?
All of them. Well, I think Spider-Verse would have to be my number one, and then it's kind of hard to say because I need to rewatch the Sam Raimi ones. It's been a very long time, so without watching the Sam Raimi ones, I would have to put this like a number 3 or something because it's like Spider-Verse, Homecoming, and then Far From Home, and then the Sam Raimi ones. But I'm sure once I rewatch it, though, it's gonna be completely different.
Yeah. I've been meaning to watch those again. I actually haven't seen them since 2017. Oh my God. Going on 3 years, I feel. Pretty much that. So, yeah, I need to revisit them as well. But last I checked, I have Spider-Man 2 as my favorite. Then right behind it's either the first Spider-Man or Into the Spider-Verse. So I think for sure those are my top 3. And then at number 4, I have Homecoming. And then at 5, I think I have Spider-Man 3, actually. Which may be controversial. And then I have Far From Home. Yeah. And then I literally don't give a shit about the rest. After that, you kind of have a drop-off in quality. And then you have The Amazing Spider-Man, and then even worse, The Amazing Spider-Man 2, which I think those are horribly made and horribly executed. I wonder, David, should we do commentaries on those movies?
Amazing Spider-Man?
Should we bother revisiting those? We haven't done commentaries on those, have we?
No, but I don't know.
Is it worth doing them?
I don't think so. All I can really say about those movies is, I enjoyed them. I thought they were fun still, but it's just not really worth it. They haven't really
stayed with you.
I liked who was the actor?
Andrew Garfield.
Yeah, Andrew Garfield. Like, I liked his Spider-Man. Like, he was very funny. He had some cool action sequences. He was very like, he doesn't stop talking when he's fighting the villain. That's what I like about Spider-Man. But as like a Peter Parker, being like that nerdy kid, kind of shy, I didn't really see that in the movie. Especially didn't help, like,
everything else.
I don't know. Yeah. So, and I liked his and Gwen Stacy's like dynamic in the movie. It was funny. It was cool.
Then she died.
But then she died. Yeah. But I don't know. It's still just not as good as the original and these, which sucks because Andrew Garfield, he was really excited to play Spider-Man. So
yeah, just wrong place at the wrong time. It just didn't work out. I don't know. Like, I guess you could say that he got to have 2 Spider-Man movies, but unfortunately, he just wherever they were going it just didn't come to fruition because of how it was received. Similarly, you have he had his standalone films, but you can also argue in terms of other actors who played famous comic book characters that got screwed over, I mean, you have Batfleck. Like we never got to see, like, what I was really looking forward to was not necessarily Batman v Superman, was just a standalone Batman series with him as the Batman, and we never got that. Mm-hmm. I mean, it worked out. Yeah, I wish you could. It worked out with Matt Reeves and Robert Pattinson. So far, it looks amazing, but it's just a missed opportunity for sure. You had Ben Affleck. I mean, he was supposed to write and direct one as well and act in it, and that just felt like it was great. And for literally everything going wrong, we didn't get that. But yeah. I mean, there's a whole conversation of just, especially in the last 10 years, of actors that unfortunately were not able to live up to their full potential in terms of their stamp on a character because of executives fucking around and, ruining everything. So here we're going to have this post thing. Let me see how this plays out here, just to make sure I can recall. I'm going to pay attention to the dialogue right here and see what they say. Ben Mendelsohn's amazing. I love this character so much, man.
Yes.
He fucking just hangs up. Fuck off.
Where are the Avengers, though? Like, he just said that. Like, where are the Avengers?
Dead, retired, or off-world. Last I checked. There really aren't any Avengers anymore, are they? Everyone's just kind of off on their own?
I mean, I guess.
It's not really clear, is it? I think we'll know when we see those Disney Plus shows what's happening with that. Because, isn't, Falcon a fugitive again?
Yeah, he probably is still, huh?
Because the Accords didn't go away, and it's a bunch of bullshit, I imagine, right?
I mean, I'm sure they'll... I feel like there might be some answers to that in the Falcon. Because they got a feeling... Part of the reason why they lost is because they kept putting Cap as a fugitive. And just they got no help from the government.
Pretty much. Basically. But anyway, that was our audio commentary on Spider-Man Far From Home. Very entertaining, very enjoyable. And we hope you enjoyed this. We also have commentaries on Captain Marvel, and David and I recently finished our Beyond the Shield series, where we recap the final season of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and we will have more content coming up for you in the future. So thank you all very much. Thank you, David, for being here. We got more under our red spotlight. Until next time, bye-bye.